Hey guys, this is Neha Surendran from Englishfirm Parramatta. So today in this session, I'm planning to give you some tips on the Retell lecture exercise in the speaking module. So actually in this exercise, you will hear an audio clip. It will be of a length of 2 or 3 minutes, and then you will have to summarize whatever the lecture was about. So that is why it's called Retell lecture. So there are many tips that you can actually take from this video so that you can maximize your score. So let's get down into the details. So let's first go through the general facts or the overview of the exercise. So you will get 3 or 4 questions from this exercise, and each question will contribute to 15 points. There is no negative marking, so you need not worry about making any mistakes. And since this exercise involves a listening part and a speaking part, you will get 10 points to listening and 10 points to speaking as an internal score. So the audio clip will be up to 2 minutes. So it's actually an audio clip about the general facts or general topics or day-to-day life topics that we usually encounter in our daily lives. So it's going to be a simple topic and it will be of about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So first you will get a preparation time of 10 seconds after you hear the audio. So then you will get a recording time of 40 seconds. So within the 40 seconds, you need to summarize whatever you heard from the lecture. But make sure you almost conclude by about 35 seconds and then move on to the next question because you need not rush at the end. Make sure you are safe and you finish the recording by about 35 seconds. And try to speak in a very moderate pace. Don't get confused. So I will just get down to the tips that will help you more. So before that, I need to go on to the scoring. So actually, you will be scored based on 3 major sections. Content 5 points, oral fluency 5 points, and pronunciation 5 points, which adds to 15 points. So, if you use the words correctly, or if you use the keywords that you heard from the lecture, if you mention the topic sentence, or if you mention what was the main idea about the lecture, or what was the conclusion, etc., if you use the keywords from the lecture, you will get 5 points for content. So make sure you apply that throughout your summary. And for the second one is oral fluency, which means you should actually speak aloud the summary, right? So you should make sure you speak in a very continuous manner. Most of the time, we do not get the much required preparation time to write down all the sentences. So you will only write down the major points from what you understood from the lecture, and then you will have to frame the sentences at that moment itself. So make sure you speak in a correct way and make sure there is no disruption because if the software detects a gap, it will stop recording automatically. So make sure you speak continuously. And for pronunciation, you should speak very loud and clear. And don't worry because there is no negative marking, and there is also one more advantage: vocabulary or grammar will not be tested. So you need not worry if you make any grammar mistakes or vocabulary mistakes as you speak along. Just move on with whatever you speak because you should never create any disruption or a gap for more than 3 or 4 seconds. So there are many tips that I can give you. So the major area where you should focus for to maximize the score for this particular exercise is making good lecture notes. That is, you need to write down the important points only from the lecture. Your notes should be up to the point so that you can actually summarize very well from whatever you heard from the lecture. So good note making consists of many things. The first one is topic sentence. So, whenever you hear the lecture, figure out what the topic is about and write down that topic sentence. Because if you get what the topic is about, you can actually, if you know many more points to it, you can add along as you speak. So, knowing the topic of what the lecture is about is really crucial. So, write down the topic sentence. as soon as you understand what the lecture is about, and then idea one, or the main idea behind the topic. So there will be many points that will be supporting the topic, so you should write down the main idea behind it, and you will get idea two, that is supporting idea. Maybe if the topic is about television and the speaker is explaining about the positive sides and the negative sides, you have two ideas there, positive ideas and negative ideas on television. So you can actually split it accordingly and write some points on that. And then you can give examples to support your answers. So that is a very good method of summarizing a lecture, right? You can point out the examples, what you see in your daily life or whatever was mentioned in the lecture. And then finally, every lecture, every content that you write should have an introduction and conclusion. So it should have a conclusion, and you should conclude whatever you understood from the lecture, or you can directly write whatever conclusion was mentioned in the lecture. So just don't try to write the whole sentence, because you will never get the time to write the whole sentence. Just try to write words that will give you a hint on what actually the lecture was about. So use very simple points, and try to bring out a structure in your mind on how you should approach each and every lecture. Like for introduction sentences, you can make one or two sentences like permanent. Like you can tell the audio played was very interesting. There were many points mentioned in the lecture. So you can actually add an introduction part like that. And the topic was the topic of the audio was. So that is a syntax, right? An introduction syntax. So you can add that. And for conclusion, you can, for example, say, in conclusion, the audio is very informative. So that is a concluding sentence, and that can be applied to any topic. So before attending the exam, try to make a small template as such, so that it would be very easy, and or you only have to change the middle portion of your summary. So try to take these steps and apply it, and then your approach will sound much better, and you can easily write the summary, or you can easily speak the summary out loud. So this is how the screen will appear. Actually, for some questions, you might only get an audio, but most probably you will also get an image describing what the audio is about. So you can, if you want, you can describe the image if you want. If you did not understood anything about the audio, try describing the image, because the image will always be related to what the audio is about. So please do make sure you do that. And as soon as your preparation time ends, make sure you start recording the audio, and then by about 30 to 35 seconds, try to conclude it. So make sure you do that. The only way you can tackle this exercise is through practice, and through by practicing how to take good notes. So whenever you hear a lecture, try to take down notes, and notes should not be complicated. It should be kept very simple. It should be up to the point. So try to write it down as points. That will help you a lot. And during the preparation time of 10 seconds, try to recollect whatever you heard from the audio and try to frame sentences accordingly. And as I mentioned just right now, you can include a permanent introduction and a concluding sentence, so that it can be applied to every audio or on any topic, etc. So try to practice like this, and then you can definitely maximize your score for this exercise. So if you need any sort of help, you can always reach us out at englishfirm.com, or if you need any mentor to just evaluate and give you feedback on the different exercises in all modules, you can email us at mockpte at englishfirm.com. You can also book a free slot for all the one-on-one coaching classes. So please do check out englishfirm.com now itself. There are many resources available there too. So thank you so much guys for tuning in.